FARMSIMGUY here. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to Court Farms. We are just enjoying the view of our two new horses here just before we crack on with the next few little jobs we've got to do. They are looking great and hopefully are going to be quite a nice little money spinner. Our bales are still fermenting in the field, so no need to worry about them just now. But we did pick up another contract while you were away. We have got yet more baling to do just up the road here in field 70 for Clifford Powell, so we're going to get organised and get that mowed ASAP. But then we're going to head back to the farm. Some more equipment has arrived at home farm, so we want to show you that, but also we need to dive in there and get some silaging done up there as well. We need to prep and get ready for the winter really, and making sure we've got enough food for the cows there. So what we're going to do, first things first, we're going to grab the mower, run that up to field 70, get that mowed and get that sorted. I think we'll try the fast track. We've not tried the fast track with the mower yet, so let's do that. It should be tucked up in here somewhere. Probably unable to get it out actually. Now, just while we hook the mower up here, we're giving Davey the job of looking after the horses. He is going to be our horseman. He is going to make sure that they are fed, watered, exercised, all of those things every day. I think it's a nice little job for him. He seems very excited about the prospect of having something that he fully owns, so I thought that was a nice little job for him to do. And also we're going to get him up. He's going to probably be our herdsman up at the farm as well, so kind of thinking the less time he needs to spend on equipment, the chances of him breaking stuff might be a little bit lower, but maybe I'm doing him a disservice there. Now, something a few of you have said as well, which I fully acknowledge, and it's sitting there in the shed, is upgrading our little tedder now. We're getting to bigger fields and wanted to get through stuff a lot quicker. So the Pottinger, I think, will go this episode, and I have got a new tedder earmarked, and we'll need that pretty quickly actually, because it's hay bales we're doing in field 70 here. So what we're going to do is we're going to run up here, get this mowed, and then we're going to go with the mower to the farm, and I'm going to show you what my plan is for up there. We did talk about it a little bit in the last episode, but now we're going to have to really put things into action. So let's get this in the field, let's get this mowed as quickly as possible, and then we'll head up to the farm. And I'm sure you're all keen to see what's going to happen up there, so what we'll do, we'll quickly time-lapse this, and then we'll head up and get the business sorted at the farm. Right, there we go. All done and dusted. That was a bit of a shocker, if I'm being honest. Look at the amount of grass that's been missed. You know the problem here? The turning circle on this JCB is poor. I am surprised, actually. So, we're just going to run this by hand. But it does make me consider using this up at the farm. I may flip over to the case, and we'll maybe use the fast track to go and get the new tedder. Or we could use the Renault, actually. I was a little bit disappointed in this, I have to say. That's the first time I've been disappointed by this fast track. So far it's been really, really good. So what we might do is put the mowers onto the case. I know it's a good, powerful tractor, that, and we know that does a good job, and the turning circle's great on it. So what we'll do is probably retire the JCB from mowing from now on, and we'll find something else for it to do. I mean, there's plenty of jobs to keep it going. In fact, what we'll probably do is put this on the trailer. With its high speed, it can tow these bales to the sell point when we finish this contract. But next up here is going to be the tedder, and that's likely to be our new tedder, because like I said, and like you guys have said in the comments after the last episode, it's probably time to upgrade it, which I wholeheartedly agree with. So we'll tidy up the mess here, and we'll head back. We'll flip this onto the case, and we'll get organised. So we'll probably see you up at the farm with the mower, and I'll talk you through our plans for what we're going to do there. Look at the size of these clumps that it missed. Honestly, it was awful. You saw it while we were running the time lapse, but yeah, pretty disappointing. Right, see you shortly. Well, hello, here we are. Now, here it's a strange entrance in because we don't actually even go to the farm, we jump straight into the field here. But this is our first field. Now, here's the plan. Let me just close that up. We have got, in fact, let's jump to the map and talk about it there. So we have got this field here, we've got this field here, and we've got this field here, 57, with the linseed in it. So, what we're going to do, we're going to mow the grass on both of these fields, get it into the silage bunker quickly as possible, but then what we're going to do, the bigger field here, we're going to plant corn in here, probably not this episode, but soon. We're going to get corn in there because we're going to do more maize silage. Again, we're just trying to stock up on supplies for the animals. We have got some bales coming from Charles to the yard from one of his other farms just to keep us going in the interim, but I think what we'll do is we will put all of this into a silage bunker. So we're going to use the self-propelled chopper rather than bale this, I think, because we've got that silage clamp there. So first things first, though, let's get this mowed. Shouldn't take too long, these two fields. And in the interim, we'll set the mower off here. Willie's going to drive that for us. We're going to go back to the yard, grab the Renault, and we're going to go and TED field 70. But not before we've headed up to the shop and we bought our bigger tedder. So let's get the mower going here. Hopefully by the time he's done these two fields, we'll have bought the tedder, been back, tedded field 70, and we can start getting things windrowed. So we'll see you shortly. Right, there we go. First field done. Now, I did say I was going to go and get the tedder and leave this to it, but it's not a defined field. So I was going to use a little bit of horseplay there to help that, but unfortunately it didn't work. So we had to cut that one by hand, but quite pleased with the job I did, actually. That was quite a nice therapeutic little job. Right, anyway, I am now going to run this to the next field, and what we'll do is we will put that one on Willie to drive, and we will go and get the tedder. Now these, we're going to leave both of these as grass, so the next job in here is windrowing. So ideally I would like to get the contract field 70 tedded quickly and windrowed, and then get the windrower up here and do these two fields as well. So bear with us while we just we're juggling a lot of equipment here, but this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to run the farm and the contracting business together. Now, just the nature of the beast, the nature of British farming, if I'm being honest, is that you end up doing a lot, and I mean a lot, of grass work. So, and again, the time of year it is, we want to get this done. It is November, so this is probably our last chance to get the grass in before winter. So let's push on, let's see how much we can get done, and then take stock of where we are with food supplies. I got a funny feeling we may need to buy in certainly some straw through the winter. Everything else we might be alright with, we shall wait and see. But here's the other field, this is the other grass field, so it's looking good. We have got actually a very big amount of grass here across both fields, which is nice. So, let's crack on, let's get this one done as well, and yeah, we'll go and buy the other tedder. Right, Willie's rocked up here, and he is in the mower now, which means we can head back to the yard, grab the Renault, and grab the tedder. So, we will see you back here shortly. Looks like he knows what he's doing. He's got a bit of a plan here for how he's going to cut this field, so we'll leave him to it. He knows what he's doing, and we'll be back shortly. Right, here we are. Before we run up to the shop with this, we thought we'd better give it a bit of a clean. It's in pretty good nick. It's not that old, this, so kind of hedging my bets. We'll get not a bad return on it. I mean, it didn't cost us much originally, so hopefully we'll get most of our money back. Anyway, that'll do. I'll not bother cleaning the Renault just now, because that's just about to get dirty again. But let's head up to the dealer, and I will show you what we've already picked out to spend our money on. Right, here we go, nearly at the dealership. Look at the colour of the trees though. It's really starting to get cold now. I genuinely think that this is probably... There might be some ploughing, might be some cultivating contracts coming up in the next few weeks, but generally it's going to go quiet, I think, on the contracting front till the spring and planting. So if we can, we need to get as much done as possible today. And then it really will be a focus on home farm for the next little while, whilst we make sure that the animals are fed and watered. So, here we go. Let's pop in and I'll show you what we're going to buy. There you go, there's our little Pottinger Tedder 4,296 we'll get for selling that, so we'll do that. Now, let's go back into here and into Tedders, and there it is, the Class Volto 870. Now, we've got 102,000 in the bank now. This is 24,500. I'm going to avoid spending too much money on things that we're leasing. We can afford this. It's within our price range. I reckon we do it, and we are actually going from 4.7 metres to 11.2 metres, so this is going to be a huge update for us. Very excited by this, and it looks really good as well. I'm really taken with the class equipment. So let's just buy that outright now. There we go, and that should be. They'll bring that round to the front of the shop, and we'll be able to hitch up and head off with it. So let's check it out. Yes, there it is. It's a big old beast, 90 horsepower to run it. So again, another interesting test for the Renault with its new engine. So far, it has passed every test we've thrown at it. So let's see what happens this time. Right, let's just get hooked up and we'll run this down to field 70. There we go, back past the yard. We're nearly there. This is going to take no time at all to do. Kind of disappointed now that I'm not using this on the other two fields as well, because it's a really nice bit of kit. There's the field. Our aim is definitely get this done today. Now the other stuff, the silage, might need to roll into the next episode, but certainly for this episode I would definitely want this field done and dusted. So there we go, let's just open the gate here and get this in. Very tight, this gate. This whole map's tight though. One of the things I love about it. So familiar for me, who grew up in an area of the UK where the farms and the fields are small and tight like this. So, yes, very reminiscent of home, but there we go, through the gate. Let's get ourselves lined up and get this sorted. Like I said, straight away after this we need to get this windrowed. It seems silly to drive the windrower all the way up to home farm, to drive it back to do this field, to drive it all the way back, so I'm basically going to get this tedded and windrowed before we run it up to home farm, and then we may as well leave it up there because we might even get another cut out of the fields up there before winter really closes in, whereas I think from a contracting perspective this might be the end of things for a little while. Look at the width of that. That is a huge increase in size. I'm going to enjoy this one. Right, let's get stuck into it. This thing is epic. We have covered so much ground in such little time. I am loving this. It is perfect for what we need. Right balance of probably slightly too big for the fields, but it's nimble, it's agile, it's just great. And I have to say, the Renault, the proof in the pudding that the engine is sorted on the Renault, this is it, because it's just laughed at this. It's just has not batted an eyelid. So there you go. We are done here already. So I'm going to keep with the Renault because it's doing such a good job. We're going to get the windrower on this, and we'll get straight back in here, get this sorted, and get ourselves off up to home farm. I'm pretty sure Willie will have finished the finished the mowing by now. So time's pressing on. Let's get on with it. We're having an efficient day here. Right, back at the yard, like I said, class equipment just doesn't seem to let us down. It's working really, really well. Let's hope that forage harvester that Charles has given us is going to do the job as well. But let's get this lowered down and grab the very dirty windrower next to it. Right, we're up and running with the windrower. We're going to do our usual and do the insides first and finish on the headlands, so we get some nice clean headlands for the baler. This won't take too long. I'm toying with the idea of maybe putting the TW on the baler. It feels a bit overkill. Or maybe we let the JCB redeem itself. That's what we'll do. We'll put the JCB on the little baler in here, and we'll keep the TW. So let's start by getting all of this ready, and then we'll throw the baler in here. I'm itching to get back up to home farm. There's more equipment up there I've not even seen yet, so let's get on with this. This is going to be a nice little earner though, nearly £10,000 for this one, so feels like an easy contract in a relatively small field, but still takes time. These baling contracts, they take time. So we'll go and get the baler, and hopefully by the time we get back here, this guy will be ready to head up to home farm. Right, let's go. Shame we don't have a newer fast track. I've got a much tighter turning circle on them. But we've got what we've got, and it's not a bad bit of kit. I don't know why I'm complaining. It is a very decent tractor. So we'll just move this cone out of the way, we'll get this hooked up, and we'll head back to field 70. We've still got to load up the trailer and take the telehandler down there and get them loaded onto the trailer. So there's still a fair bit to do, but we'll get it done in no time. I'm pretty confident about that. Now, a few of you did comment that I didn't need to buy the second baler, and the silage baler with the wrapper on it will work for this. I Obviously I knew that, but I'm trying to branch out the business, and the thought, with the amount of baling contracts on this map, my thought process was I can't lose having 2 balers. I could be running 2 contracts at once. We've got enough tractors to be able to do that. So that was my broad thinking behind it. I could run a wrapping contract whilst doing a hay or a certainly in the summer as well when we're baling straw. Just gives me more options. So that was the thinking behind it. Renault's doing a good job in there. There's some nice big rows in there. I don't know how many bales we're going to get out of this. Hopefully, it would be ideal if it's just one load, but we'll see. And we're going back up to tall trees, so we're getting a lot of contracts finishing at tall trees at the moment, which is great because I know exactly where it is and it's an easy run from these fields. So, yeah, we'll just wait for the Renault to get a little bit further through the field, and then we'll throw this baler in there. Now, while we were waiting for the windrow just to finish down there in field 70, we've come back up here and we've actually marked these 2 grassland areas out now as custom fields, as you can see, Home Farm 1 and Home Farm 2. That just makes it a little bit easier for us when we're running multiple pieces of equipment. Certainly when Willie's helping us, or Billy, or even Davey running trailers while we've got the mower running or the forage harvester running, it means we've got more control over it. So that'll come along and be beneficial for us later on. So Willie had finished here, and I've decided that I think the likelihood of us using the mower up at Home Farm is probably higher than it is worth us running it back down to the contracting yard. So I'm going to pop this in one of the sheds up here for now. Obviously, we need to move it off somewhere else, we can, but for now I feel like the likelihood of us maybe getting one final cut of silage out of this field is higher than probably us having to do another contract. We shall see though. But let's run it into here and let's find a bit of space in one of these sheds, and I think what we'll probably do, thinking aloud now, no, in fact I'm going to leave it, I'm going to leave the case here as well. We're going to bring the Renault up, and he's going to get everything windrowed, and then really it's time to get the forage harvester out, and we'll use the case, I think, on the trailer. So, anyway, let's drop this off, and we'll pop back and see how it's going with the baler. Right, here we go, on to the headlands now, I think, which is great, which means we can get the baler in. Again, I'm going to maybe get Davey to stay on the windrower. Maybe we'll do the baling. I want to give this JCB a bit of a run again. Just check this turning circle and see if it's going to mess us up here. Hopefully it shouldn't, but we'll soon find out. Right. Things are going really, really well, I have to say. I've got a big smile on my face. It's nice to be running things on a load of different fronts, so long may it continue. Right, change of plan. I want Davey to crack on and do this, and we'll worry about what's happening at Home Farm. So let's just see what I want to do. Just make sure that he can make this turn with the JCB. Good work, mate. Davey's sharp. He knows how to drive a tractor, I tell you that. If he wasn't so unlucky, he'd be super useful. Right. This is perfect. Right, let's get the Renault out of here and let's get up to the other farm. Right, here we are. That didn't take too long. I think we just jump in and get these started straight away. Obviously we're going to have to go back and load those bales up at some point, but for now we are in windrow mode. So let's get these 2 fields done ASAP. here we are. This field's a big field, actually. I think we're going to get a serious amount of grass off this in the bunker. Between the two fields, it's going to be huge, which could be great for the farm. But for now, we're just going to crack on here. A few more rows to do, and then the headlands, and then we'll move over to the other field. But we'll stop in the yard on the way, and we haven't still looked at the rest of that equipment that's arrived. So I'm holding out hope that there's some decent stuff there. Now, he did say there is a grass pickup header along with the maize header. So like I said earlier in the episode, I'm going to definitely maybe try the forage harvester in these fields. Right, it looks like we're onto the headlands now, so we'll push on quickly, get these done, and we'll come back and have a chat. Right, here we go. I'm just going to stop here and jump out, because that is the field ahead of us that we need to go to. The cows are here. If you hadn't already noticed, they have got a little bit of food in the trough. Not much, in fact. That's going to run out incredibly quickly, isn't it? But over here, what have we got that's new? There's the feeder box and the forage harvest that we saw last time. But we do have the pickup header here. That's handy. That is a very handy tool to have. And looks like a blade for the silage clamp as well. And it looks like that's not a 3-point hitch. That looks like a wheel loader attachment. So I'm guessing that goes on the case. We have also got this very nice Richard Weston silage trailer. That is a beauty. That will haul some silage. Obviously we have our own one as well, so we could rotate two if we think it's necessary. I do think it's necessary, if I'm being honest. With the forage harvest, you want to keep it running as long as possible, so certainly 2 trailers minimum. But that's grand, and they've delivered, look, some more silage bales as well. So how many's there? 8, 24 there, and we've also got some straw and hay in here, so we do have enough to feed the animals in the short term. So that is fantastic. I think that's it for machinery. I don't think there's much else, so nothing wildly exotic. Not that I expected that, but nice to see those little things there. Now, we probably do need to feed the cows at some point. Let's just check the menu and see how well fed they are. So there we go. They've been given, looks like just over 20,000 litres of TMR to keep them going. Not bad so far. I think we'll just leave them to it for now. We can worry about that later on. You'll notice as well here our horses' names, Rocky and Trigger. I did not choose those. They were the ones they gave them already, and to be honest, they're quite cool. So I'm happy to leave them as they are. Rocky and Trigger. It sounds like an episode. We used to have a show in the UK called Only Fools and Horses. Sounds like a couple of characters from that. Right. Second field getting windrowed. Let's get on with it. Right, we're on field 2 now. I'm going to leave Davey here, pushing on with this. He should get this finished in no time at all. I'm going to go and load the bales in field 70 and get that contract put to bed. He said before he headed up here he'd run the TW and the trailer down to the field, so I guess best thing to do, head to the yard, grab the telehandler and head over to the field. So things are looking good, but the light is dropping quick. Okay, we better push on or we're going to run out of time. Right, here we are, back at the yard. There's the JCB put away. So let's jump into this JCB. As we're doing hay as well, we're going to use the spike. And also time is against us, so speed is going to be the order of the day here. So let's head to the field. Here we go, just pop the gate open here. Make things easier by lifting the arm over the gate rather than trying to squeeze it through. Okay. Now I've counted, I think there's 18 bales in here. Trailer should usually take 16. So we might need to get a bit creative with the last 2 bales, but let's give it a go and see what happens. Right. You know the deal here by now with this beast, so let's give it a go. Right, here we go. Last 2 bales. I slightly underestimated how many bales that trailer could take, actually. So we're not having to struggle at all here. In fact, these last 2 are going to drop on very nicely. We're going to have a lovely load of bales here to run down to tall trees. Now, I'm not trying to save any here for the farm. I think we've got plenty of bales down at the farm now, so anything over and above the contract here, we will, I think, just sell and maybe make ourselves a little bit of cash over and above the contract. As always with these, you don't know how much you're going to make, but every little bit adds something to the bottom line, which is quite nice. So there we go, 18 bales on a trailer. I'm going to leave the load all here, come back and get that later on, but that is a nice little load of bales. Let's get those ratcheted up, make sure they're not going to fall off as we head down the road, but very pleased with that. Right, tall trees, here we come. Right, here we go, headlights on, and we've got our beacons on as well. It is definitely starting to get a little bit dark. Right, we're out onto the road though, and now it's just a nice straight run up to tall trees. So, let's push on. The TW's hauling well here, so we will see you up there. Right, here we are just up the hill here, and the pub will be on our left, and tall trees is just beyond that. So what we'll do is see how much we get sold here. 81,000 litres of hay here. I'm pleased we got it all done this episode. There's a lot of stages to the baling contracts, but they are very lucrative. You know, we're going to make just shy of £10,000 with this one, so it's not a bad day's work, to be honest. But here we are, tall trees. Starting to get familiar, this place, isn't it? There is the bale sell point just there. As per usual, I'll make sure the trailer is fully over the sell point before releasing the straps. There we go. Looking good. Right. Let's sell them. 1, 2, done. So we have finished the contract. And we've also made £1,686 in extra bale sales. Right. Let's claim this contract. Let's see what we're going to end the day on. Remember, we spent 24,000 on a new tedder, which was fantastic. I can see us getting through a lot of work with that. So, although we'll finish the day down, I think we've made good progress in terms of ownership of new equipment and a nice turnaround from that baling contract. So there it is, 8389. I thought it was 9,000 something, but still, that is pretty good. We will collect that. And there we go, 85,000 in the bank. So a little bit down, but we were doing a lot of work for ourselves. I have actually forgot to mention that we will be getting a salary from Charles. He's going to pay us £3,000 a month for the privilege of being the farm manager, so that's nice too. But I think on that note, with a load of stuff lined up for the next episode, we are going to call it there. And hopefully we'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully the weather's going to hold and we can get that grass off the fields and we can get a nice batch of silage into the clamp ready for the winter with the cows. But for now, from me here on Court Farms, thank you all very much for your support on this series. It's great to hear so many of you enjoying it. Thanks for the tips and the advice and the observations. They all help. I don't get it right all the time, but I do try my best. So, on that note, have a good one, and I'll see you again very soon. Take care. Bye for now.